Hey everybody, welcome to Growing with Fishes podcast. We're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated episode this week. We're live from the house of the Regenerative Organic Cannabis Conference. We got a little represent. We're here with Josh and a whole bunch of other awesome people from the conference. And we're going to have them pop in, at least a couple of them, excuse me. We've been partying a little bit. We all got all kinds of nice weed, all kinds of concentrates. All kinds of nice things all over. I mean, lots and lots of different kinds. This is like a fraction of what's actually there, but it's really, really good time. All kinds of great people. It's really it's been a hell of a day. How have you been there, Roger? We have Roger from I Love Growing Marijuana.
We're doing good. We just got through with our Christmas essays, and I got a bunch of presents to give out to our members that wrote essays about why they would need some compassionate help or why somebody else on the forum might. So I ran 2 different essay threads, and we got some good participation out of it. So that's about it for me. I've been busy putting together a concert, but that has nothing to do with regenerative organic cannabis, so I won't talk about that. But yeah, we're doing good at I Love Growing Marijuana. We just updated the blog, so we got some new software over there that's kind of neat. It's a little different, and that's about it. I was been answering questions. All the people that make comments on the blog. We've got over 500 articles over there. So it's a lot of fun.
What about now we have Mr. Green Jeans?
Hey everybody, great to be here. I wish I was there. Enough about me. I want to hear what's going on there.
We got a Hogmaster.
What's happening? Been growing a lot of weed, smoking a lot of weed, and having fun with a lot of weed. But not as much weed as you're around right now. But
yeah, I also got a chance to tour. I went over to Embark's new place earlier today. It's a 40,000 square foot extraction facility. Pretty sure it's going to be the biggest one on, at least for a while, on the earth. So that was ridiculous. It was by far the largest facility I've ever seen. So that was super awesome. Big shout out to BC Bubble Man for making that happen. He's got all kinds of amazing knowledge on extraction. Be sure to check all the awesome stuff out. Plus over at Hash Church and everything. Super, super cool dude. It was great hanging out with him today. And thanks again for giving us a tour. That was super awesome. So yeah, and yeah, do you wanna pop on? We got all kinds of cool people here. We have I'll let you introduce yourself actually.
Yeah. What's up, Growing with Fishes? I'm Kaya from Pacific Northwest Roots, and they snuck me up here from Seattle, and we got across the border here, and wow. Canada's got some fire herbs. Pretty cool to see people growing some coffee up here. And they turned me on to some, what was that one called? Where's my bike?
Where's my bike?
Where's my bike? Do you see my eyes?
I was gonna say,
that's some good hash.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah, these guys are
Lots of Bikers Kush with Amnesia Haze, if I remember correctly. Bikers Kush and Amnesia Haze.
It is a winner. Yeah, so Pacific Northwest Roots, we're based outside of Seattle, and I got into herbs in '95, up here, living close to the Canadian border, and then developed our brand through the medical era in Washington State, and we helped to open up some of the first brick and mortars and expand patient access through legislation and lobbying, that kind of stuff, and defending patient access when recreational herbs came on the scene. We specialize in hash and solventless hash making. I'll show you real quick here. This is some of our product.
Your info will put out a description.
Yeah, cool. So and then we do genetics. Our flagship is a strain called Kaya's Coffee. We've won a couple cups and done some fun stuff with it. It's a real narcotic strain, good yielder. It's available on the international seed market. You can get it at different seed banks. And we're students of the Korean natural farming, regenerative farming. We grow our own food, and just trying to walk in a good way and and spread love with the plant and keep this consciousness rolling for the New Year's and stuff. So thank you guys for having me on. Super cool.
Excellent.
And I'm super stoked to learn about some of this aquaponic stuff and, further new concepts of how we can push, regenerative farming practices and where it's going to take us, because it's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
We'll get you on a full episode here in the future.
All right.
Pop on next. Hey, yo. How's it going, dudes?
Hey, Joshua.
Gosh.
Yeah, we're having a good time here. We got a lot of cool folks. It's pretty cool to hang out with Kaya here, man. That coffee's been flying around IG like crazy, to be honest. And so we got to have a little taste of it in both hash and flower form. So thank you, brother. Yeah, so we're having a
funny.
good time.
Everybody's eyes look the same over there.
Yeah, we went rounds, man. We got the Jeffries going, they call it here, which you can imagine what the Jeffries is. It was, I think, a 5-way hash. Two
Something like this.
we're hitting,
Yeah.
2 grammer minimums. So,
Nice.
yeah, we're having a great time, and tomorrow we start the conference 9 a.m. Pretty excited. So if anyone's in Vancouver, please come out. And if you can't make it during the day sessions, we have tickets available for the night sessions. Marcus Richardson, Bubble Man, is going to be talking Friday night. And then we're going to do a Dragonfly Earth Medicine Dempier Farmers panel on Saturday night. And then Saturday is all genetics. I think Kaya was probably talking about it, but Kevin Jodrey is going to be joining us. And Kaya, we got Joshua Steensland's going to be talking. Kenny, Mount Baker Highway. Craig from Alpenglow, a whole slew of farmers and growers and breeders. And it's going to be a dynamite group of guys to talk about their practices and just like get real. So I'm really excited just to hear from my peers, sort of,
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can't wait till y'all get to the east. Yep. Looking forward.
Yeah,
to
man. What else we got around here? Who wants to hop on? Do we got Layden here? Layden will pop on for a sec.
Telling everybody about the conference. You got some cool shit you're talking about. You got some of the cool shit you're talking about.
Drink one of those.
I need one. I'm just arriving from the East Coast. I don't know what time it is, where I am, but somewhere in Canada. Who am I talking to? Anyway.
The panel and everybody on the podcast.
Are you
Oh,
being
hey guys, how
recorded?
are you, man? It's been a while.
What's up? How you been?
Hanging in there, brothers, and you guys?
Yeah, same thing. We're getting our first freeze down here tonight, so it's probably a little different than up there. It's been freezing up there for a while, but yeah, I'm having my first freeze to worry about tonight with my water and stuff. Other than that, everything's great.
Fantastic. Yeah, actually, it's nice and warm up here. It's only about 45 degrees. I came from, we were in single digits for a month now back east. We had a couple warm ups, but it was still pretty nasty, pretty deep.
Yeah, up in the Northeast, it's been crazy this winter. Yeah, man.
Tell them what you're talking about at the conference.
Tomorrow, I'm talking basically soil structure, how to build regenerative soil profiles for some of these people that we're hoping to get, away from the synthetics and all the other bad influences, and start to really, adjust to proper soil structure as well as right biological counts, so that they can move forward with, a solid soil system that they're not changing all.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Yeah. What's happening?
Oh, more guests coming.
More people coming. We'll let you guys talk for a second. We're gonna mute the mic for a moment.
Oh, good. Here we go. Yeah, it's a show about the conference they're all going to be at tomorrow, folks. It's something you got to get this Regenerative Organic Cannabis Conference. It's got all the leaders in the industry, from microbes to acids to soil regeneration and Korean natural farming. What else am I missing, Doug? What else am I missing there?
Soil science. Elaine Ingham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and again, that's the regenerative soil kind of thing, and composting all the time. I think that's what Elaine is big on, continually composting your gardens and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's also president of the Rodale Society, I'm pretty sure, as well as having some degrees in other areas or whatever. Rodale is, you know, old organic gardening, the original vanguard of organic gardening. Rodale family, they wrote, you know, they were organic gardening press, all that stuff. Ruth Stout wasn't what's her name was talking about that, the girl from you know, from Dragonfly.
Dragonfly,
yeah, they're into Ruth Stout. My grandma, I was raised on that stuff. I was raised on that kind of stuff.
And so, Dragonfly is going to be there also at the conferences. Now, I think they're not going to be at all of them, but I think they're going to be at Vancouver for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy that was talking about soil. He's going
Sorry
to
for the delay.
more about soil. What's that?
Sorry for the delay.
Oh,
Give me a second here.
we were riffing.
What else, Steve?
That's a beautiful picture. What is that?
This
Showing us that.
Marty's got some cool stuff going on here.
I see
This
that.
is the cookies I just harvested a little bit ago. I'm just messing with the new camera, trying to get it to show up the way I'd like it to. But yeah, pretty happy with it.
Nice.
Enjoying that right now, actually. So yeah, this is Girl Scout cookies, form cut, grown in aquaponics.
Live presentation of Marty messing with his new camera.
That's right.
I think everybody needs crocheted booties for their weed jars. How awesome is that?
That is pretty awesome.
Mine.
Thought that was sweet. Dragonfly just got here and they got all kinds of cool things.
That sort of looks like you're holding a yarn penis right now. I'm just saying.
I gotta.
Yarn.
I get these
Oh,
soap
you
booties. Soap booty, does that count? My daughter made. It's like for putting the soap in, and some homemade soap. Yeah. Pretty cool. Man, we've been making soap.
What have you been up to, Marty? In your garden, what you got going on?
Well, I just finished chucking up all this cookies here and getting it into jars. So it's looking pretty good. Smells good. Smokes good. So everything's looking good there. I still got the grape stomper, which is still rocking, which I would show you guys in the grow room, but the lights are out since we started late tonight, so we won't be able to take a peek at that. But we'll have that down probably in another week or so. Be exciting. And Steve's gone again. What you been up to, Mr. Green Jeans?
Oh, not much. Just collecting a bunch of seeds off of my plants. Finally catching up to some of the seeds I was supposed to be making. But yeah, and I had 2 or 3 plants that I really dusted with pollen, like for the first time since the 70s, you know. Like I've been using a paintbrush since like 1976. It was the first time I ever took a male plant and sort of baptized the female, you know, just whoosh all over it. So I got a real bigger amount of seeds, and it was interesting because I got to find out. That's why I was asking a couple of weeks ago about feeding, you know, what kind of thing. And I think that the stuff in the soil I must be putting something. Some of the stuff must be pretty good. I think potassium. Potassium, potash, and stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, phosphorus. And a bunch of micronutrients, but they formed really well. I was paranoid, you know. I was like, oh my god. I always put my plants in really small pots, and they're kind of nitrogen starved at the end, and you know, which is nice for flowers, but not. I was worried that it wasn't going to be good for seeds, and I guess So I guess I didn't learn anything. I'm sad to report.
What do you like
Wow,
to
what
use
is
for
that?
phosphorus?
What's that?
What do you like to use for phosphorus?
I just use bone meal, pretty much. You know, I use kelp meal and stuff like that. It probably has a little bit, and but that's about it. I mean, I put in garden soil, my garden compost, and soil from the ground gets a little bit mixed in, just with the older plants, not with seedlings. I got to remind myself. I think a bunch of my seedlings nearly damped off. Not quite, but they were looking scared. Soil was too active for them, maybe. But yeah.
Too hot, huh?
So, what about you, Roger? What have you been up to?
Well, I kind of already mentioned what I've been up to. I just been doing a pretty well. I'm at the end of a grow. I was thinking about chopping something up tonight. I've been kind of scarce lately, but I allegedly,
Got somebody who wants to pop on for a second.
Good.
Hey everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
How you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
Doing good. Doing good. Holding it down in Vancouver.
Nice.
Pretty cool. I'd love to be up there too.
Yeah, there's some vibes going on up here.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are having some fun.
Yeah, we're having a good time here, and we'll see what happens with this weekend. There's a lot of people in town.
You're speaking at both, but tell everybody when you're speaking if they want to come see you.
Yeah, so on Saturday, we'll be speaking at around 10:30, I think, and then having a panel in the evening, and that's going to be really excellent. On Sunday, we're speaking at the Lift Expo and just down the road. And we're going to be on a panel talking about micro cultivators and whether they can exist or what that looks like for micro cultivators or craft cannabis here, along with the licensed producers, how are we going to exist or what does it look like? So we're just going to talk about that.
Why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners because they don't know you from
My name's Josh.
Hey, here's this guy. We're gonna let you talk to
Dragonfly
him.
Medicine.
From Dragonfly.
I know. Yeah, they do a lot. You guys do.
Damn pure.
It's all about growing everything to use. Right, and that was a lot of your philosophy. You grow everything you're going to use for all your nutrients and such like that when you're growing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
And smoking weed is the other thing we like a lot. Just to be playful and fun. But we're going through a lot of different flavors right now and just checking out some of the just what came out this year. And so it's always a lot of fun. This one's the White Lotus glazed cherries.
Nice.
Looks good in the jar on the screen. But it has a really, really deep, rich flavor. I like it a lot. It's from Green Source Gardens and Bodhi seeds. So it's a glazed cherry and a White Lotus. So, yeah. We also have some good hemp strains that we grew, some Spectrum, some cherry wine, and some Real Auto. Because there's Auto 2 and then there's Real Auto. And the Spectrum has a lot of crystal on it. We haven't gotten tests though, so I don't know exactly what the ratings are, but we're hunting for things beyond THC and CBD at the moment. That's what we're looking for.
Right on. What are you looking for primarily? Like, what are you trying to boost right now?
I think it's definitely CBG and CBC and THCV, would be three just easy ones to say off the top. Those are kind of known, to look for a little bit. But isolating them and getting them working is, another thing. So like the Oregon CBD company, they have a CBD release that they just did, but they're also doing a CBG release. So they're having CBG strains. So it's more of it coming out.
Yeah.
Definitely, we're not looking for isolates. You know, I mean, we're for sure looking for the entourage and looking for the whole full spectrum of the plant. And whole plant medicine, no matter how smart they get with science, is definitely the goal. It's just a matter of finding some spikes and other cannabinoids which could help us, you know, towards specific ailments and stuff like that. So
for sure, or even, you know, just how people who, you know, like whether they want variety or they're you know, like you know, certain people get trigger panic attacks, for instance, is one of the things that happens a lot when you're using primarily THC and not much else. I've read quite a bit about that and have know somebody that gets triggered like that with panic attacks. So I think that it's interesting that, you know, like only specific strains, which are known to be particularly high in THC, tend to cause that. So I think there's a lot of interesting little nuances that we've gotten ourselves into by, you know, strictly breeding for THC for so many years.
Definitely, totally agree.
Good point.
And the, you know, the seeds of this, the weed of the 60s that everyone's like, oh, I had to, you know, smoke like 6 joints and stuff. I mean, I'm sure those were like, we're almost like wanting to go back to that in certain ways. There must have been some really amazing.
I can tell you. It wasn't like that was all shitty weed back in the day.
No, because I was going to say I smoked some Panama Red one time that I couldn't even move for 4 hours when I got, you know, I fell out of the van. We worked at this manufacturing plant, and we'd go out and just pile in this guy's van at lunchtime, and we were rolled out in a pile in a wave of smoke. And I just found myself staring at my table for 4 hours after. It was like it was time to go home, and I realized I haven't hardly even moved for 4 hours.
That's awesome. Yeah, interesting.
So it's not like we had all shitty weed back in the 60s.
I stick, man, you know, all kinds of great stuff.
I think a strain that everybody loves that you can attribute to lower THC that everybody still loves it is Jack Herrera. You know,
right? I love that.
That's much more recently, though. 2000.
So,
is it that new, Mr. Green Jeans? I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, Jack Herrera was created in early 2000, something like that, right? Late 90s. Pretty sure.
All this stuff is a
It's not positive.
There's, you know what? It's really loud in here, but I'll tell you one thing. Ethan Russo, I couldn't hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying. I think Jack Herrera is much more recent, like late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
some guys created it as a tribute to Jack Herrera. You know, it's pretty much more recent than, you know, a lot of other stuff we were talking about before.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I really like that flavor though of the Jack Herrera.
Already it's an heirloom thing, you know. strain, exactly.
It's funny. It's like the 90s are a wave of heirloom now, which is like still neat when you're looking at what you've done and stuff like that. So. Yeah. But Ethan Russo just came out with a really interesting article, and we put it on our dempurefarms.com website, and give it a read. It's super technical, and it has a lot to do with the different cannabinoids and terpenes. And the different, and basically the state of that right now, you know, and what to look for and different things. So that's definitely an interesting read. Check it out.
Great, I will.
Good to see you guys.
Awesome, great to see you. Thanks.
Next.
All right, so as you guys can tell, it's getting kind of crazy here. I think we're going to wrap things up. So I apologize for the brief episode, but I wanted to make sure we could tell everybody about the conference this weekend. And I think we'll wrap the show up here. And if you guys are wanting to come check it out, check out the Science of Regenerative Organic Cannabis Conference. You can check it out at regenerativeorganiccannabis.com. And you can get tickets there. There's evening tickets, day tickets, or whole weekend tickets. And it'll also be over at the Lift Expo if you want to come hang out. And we'll see you guys again next week.
And just to say, there's also going to be one in Ann Arbor, Michigan later in the year, and one in Portland, Maine. So
Yep, Portland, Maine, and Humboldt and Redway. So
yeah,
be sure to check that out. And sorry about the short episode, but got a lot going on. But I wanted to squeeze in a quick episode and you know, let everybody say hi, and we'll catch everybody again next week. So cheers. Yep.
Have a good time now.
All right, thanks, guys. See you later.